Hello, people of the interwebs, and welcome to another plan with me. Today I am planning for the month of September in my bullet journal. This is a A5 size dotted notebook from Notebook Therapy, and as always, the links to my exact journal will be linked down below. To start us off, I'm gluing in a snail print as a cover for this month. I drew this snail in my sketchbook a couple weeks ago, and then I digitalized it in Procreate, as you can see on the right side of the screen. This print should be coming to my shop soon, so if you guys are interested, follow me on my Instagram so you stay informed about all my new drawings and all the shop updates. Next, I am fiddling around where I want to put the word September. It took me a couple of tries to get it centered right below the snail. So once I got it centered beneath the snail, I inked it with my pen. The pen I am using is the Tombow Fudenosuke brush pen, and I'm alternating between the hard and the soft tip. So the second spread is a 2-page calendar spread. School is starting on the 8th for me, and I will be more busy than I was during the summer, so I need a big calendar to keep track of everything that's going on. And once again, going with the theme, I'm drawing little mushrooms in the empty space around the calendar. I don't know if you can see, but I messed up the calendar spacings when I sketched this out in pencil, but luckily I caught it before inking it. But that did mean that the doodles at the bottom of the page bled into the calendar, which I quite like. What do you guys think? Do you guys think you like little mushrooms overlapping with the calendar? For the calendar boxes, I'm just using my Tombow brush pen again and making these rounded squares and going over it a bunch of times, giving it that sketchy look. Also, don't you think the mushroom at the very bottom on the very left side looks like the Spotify sign? Like the Spotify logo? I think it does. What do you guys think? It looks like the Spotify logo to me. The entire page has been inked. It's time to erase all the pencil lines and bring in the color. So I'm just using Crayola Super Tips in various reds and oranges and yellows to color everything in. I saw this mushroom inspired cover page on Instagram. I will link her down below and on the screen. I can't remember what account on the top of my head right now. And she only colored in the mushroom tops and didn't do anything to the bottom, which I thought gave it a really clean look, so I went for that. And I'm using the same 6 colors throughout the spread and the same 2 colors for the leaf. For the days of the week for this calendar, I just created little black ovals and wrote in the day with a white Jelly Roll pen. Moving on to one of my favorite spreads in this entire plan with me is the mood tracker. So since my cover page is a print, I decided to take inspiration from the cover page I saw on Instagram and kind of duplicate that but as a mood tracker instead of what she had as her cover page. And it's just this big circle with mood tracker in the middle of it and little mushrooms going all around it. This was so fun to ink. It was just very relaxing, and especially the circle, like drawing in that circle was really fun. I just kind of let loose and let the pen do its own thing. The 6 moods that I have are straight out of Planning with Kay. I have fallen in love with this legend. I used to do like the happy, the sad, the meh, but I think this right here kind of suits me better. And then what I didn't do last time was write in the color numbers of the markers with each mood, but this time I wrote in the number of the colors, so when I go in to fill in my mood every day, I don't have to like dig through and find the exact color that I used in the legend. I know the exact number, I can just quickly go and grab that. On the page next to it is my habit tracker. So habit tracker, kept it super simple since mood tracker is kind of busy and loud. I just made little calendars to track the 6 habits that I want to track this month, and did a little mushroom doodle on the very bottom, kind of give it like it's on a forest floor. To the very first weekly spread of this month. This did not turn out how I liked it to. I'm not particularly happy with it, but I would say this is the least favorite. This is my least favorite spread out of all the spreads I've done. I thought putting this washi as a divider to divide between all the 7 days would be really cool, but it was a pain in the ass to put it down since it is so thin and tiny. And I divided up both my page into quarters, so I had 8 total sections, and with one of them I just drew in the classic mushroom doodles and drew in a cloud just to add a little oomph. For the dates, I added in these tree trunk stickers. I specifically designed these stickers with the spread in mind, and these aren't available on my shop yet, but they will be soon if you guys want to get your hands on them. I think they're just so cute, and that completes the first weekly spread. Moving on to the next one, I would say this is my favorite weekly spread for this month. And no, you are not looking at your screen upside down. I did draw the mushrooms upside down. So I wanted to do like a trippy feel, like you have just entered like Alice in Wonderland or something, where everything is upside down. So I drew in all the mushrooms upside down so like they're hanging from the top of the page, and then divided up my 2 pages into thirds. I have that little, I don't usually have a little section for like events or anything like that, but I decided to create that for this layout and just kind of separate my school from my personal to-do list. So the little section at the top would be everything for school, and everything else in the bottom would just be normal to-dos. Kind of like I can prioritize, like if I'm done with doing schoolwork, I can just look at the bottom and just be like, oh, I gotta fold my laundry or something like that. And then once I'm done that, I'm like, oh, I should really finish up my schoolwork. So it's kind of like a visual way for me to look at my to-dos and instantly prioritize the tasks that should be prioritized, like schoolwork. Once again, I'm just using the same 6 markers to color in my mushrooms, and then I'm just coloring in the little leaf details. Moving on to the next one, the little September icon is completely a recreation of the September title page I saw on Instagram. I will link the person I saw it down below so you can go check it out. And then I'm continuing on with the rounded squares, but this time rounded rectangles for days of the week like I did in my calendar. Just replicating that. And then I was debating between like doing circle of colors to like write in the date, or what should I do. Then I decided that I should go with the little tree trunks to kind of continue on that motif throughout, because this sticker sheet I designed has various size tree trunks, so I took out the tinier ones and decided to place that all for the dates for this week. Bringing in that little black bubble from the calendars, I drew a little bubble and then wrote in the day of the week with some white gel pen. I've also realized with my white gel pen, if I write it on top of any of my permanent inks, so like the Tombow Fudenosuke brush pen or Sharpie or anything like that, the white turns out really like nice and like opaque white. But if I write it on top of any water soluble marker like my Crayolas or my Tombow brush pens, it's just a very dull white. I figured that out in this spread, you'll see. So for this weekly spread, I am just doodling a bunch of mushrooms in the middle of the page. Usually I'll go for like the two sidebars in my weekly setups, or like a diagonal and through the middle of the two pages. I decided maybe let's try something new, you know? So this doodle turned out better than I had imagined. And here you can see I'm coloring in the little black circles for the days of the week, and you can also see my Tombow Fudenosuke brush pen slowly running out of ink. And I decided to go in and fill everything up with Crayola markers, which in my case was a big mistake, because when I go in to write the days of the week in my white gel pen, it just is not opaque. It is just very dull. You can clearly see the difference between Monday, Tuesday, and the rest of the week. So I decided, okay, maybe I'll go over it with the permanent ink, and that didn't help it either. It's still very dull, but lesson learned. Now I know for next time not to use water-soluble inks underneath the white gel pen. So the last two spreads are something that I've never done before. I usually like to do like a full week spread, even if like some of the dates are from the previous month, but the last 3 days were Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I thought it'd be really cool to try out like a single page spread. So I decided to use up the rest of my tree trunk stickers and finish up this sheet. I just kind of did like put them on both sides of the page, similar to like bars effect that I do in a lot of my spreads across the two pages, but against only one page. And I think it looks really cool. It looks like you go to like a cabin and you have all these like firewood logs stacked together, and the page next to it is kind of like a how to draw all the mushrooms I've been drawing. So this how to draw a mushroom guide will be uploaded on my Instagram if you guys are interested. So that completes this month's setup. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And here is the final flip through. Cover page, that is a print coming to my shop soon. The 2-page calendar spread, the mood tracker and the habit tracker, the very first weekly that I do not like, but it's in my journal, the second weekly that I love, the third weekly which was super fun to draw, the fourth weekly that taught me a bunch of lessons, and the very last experimental spread. If you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up, and if you want to see more, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye!